Bourbon Barkeep. My name's Curtis, and if you're new here, you are joining on quite a wonderful day because it's House Call Wednesday. House Call Wednesday, we have a blind sample pool. We have a randomizer, tells me what battle to pick. I get said battle, pour the battle, nose the battle, taste the battle, and score the battle. I mean, you can only have one winner at the end of this, so that's what you're in for. I don't know what I'm in for, but I'm excited, slightly nervous, but that's the anxiety talking. If you haven't done so already, boo you, but subscribe and then like, and we'll just kind of go from there. We'll grow together, see what happens. We got glass A here as I start to swirl. Whew. Here we are, nose. Wow, that is very sweet. A lot of grape, a lot of cherry. Is that it? Is that like, is it just Skittles, like muddled Skittles? Some cinnamon in there, slight oak. For how bright this is, I can't imagine this is a well-aged, high-aged. I don't know, you go with that one. Whoa. Stung the nostril on that one. So some ethanol is starting to come out after a good swirl there. A lot of vanilla, maybe a vanilla frosting, if you will, kind of like that artificial vanilla, not that vanilla extract that you probably should use. Yeah, man, this is coming out. A lot of ethanol on the nose. I could make an excuse for it. What good does that do? Let's see what we got on the palate. Cheers. That seemed out of order. It's nice, straightforward. A lot of cinnamon, a lot of candied cinnamon. That heavy cherry, a lot of caramel and apple starting to come through now. I like it. Just a nice easy day down the fair, if you will, just a state fair. You got your caramel apple, got your, what do they sell at the fair? Maybe like a cinnamon popcorn. Could see that. Could see that. The back, a little cinnamon popcorn, a little kettle corn, if you will. Shake that thing up in the bag. That's a delightful treat. If you haven't tried that, you're welcome. Overall, enjoyable, a little thin, a lot of cinnamon, but I like cinnamon, so let's see if cinnamon continues on sip 2. Sip 2, the cinnamon stayed. I would almost argue is a touch more aggressive, but it's definitely like a candied cinnamon to where you're not worried what road you're going down, like a buffalo wing on hot ones, but you definitely have to like a little spice on the tip of the tongue. There is a nice floral note that started to come out on the finish. Overall, decent hug. Thin on the tongue, better hug. So I'd probably go into like a 100 proofer would be my guess. Enjoyable, straightforward. I feel like the nose kind of continues all the way through palate and finish, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that sometimes. Now, can't have a battle without having a glass B here. Whew. Are you ready? I'm ready. Nose. Hello, caramel. A little caramel dessert. It's kind of nice. A little deep. A lot of maple syrup kind of coming through. Maybe like I may still be stuck on the fair, but like a caramel popcorn. As you start to kind of dive your nose into there, which you definitely can, especially compared to what Glass A was kind of throwing out the nose tonight. It's like a peach crisp. You know what I'm talking about? You got like the cooked peaches, a little layer of oats and cinnamon, maybe a little dollop of vanilla ice cream. It's a really nice nose. It does remind me of something that has that peaches and cream feel, but we are not in the business of guessing, even though I It seems to come out of my mouth every time. But let's see what's on the palate. Ooh, man, that's nice. I would say, ooh, wow. That's oily. That's an oily bugger right there. Wow. Okay. That peach continues. That vanilla ice cream continues. Maybe a bit of pecan in there. Kind of here for it. I don't think it was what I thought it once was, but that's delightful. I don't know what that is. I enjoy it. I would like a sip too as well. Do I need to talk about anything before? No, I don't think so. Oily. Not an overly warming hug. Just feel like it lingers. Man, my mouth is so watery right now. All right, sip two. Sip two's delightful. I enjoy it. It's like a berries, cream, and pecan. I don't know why. They may be in a bowl. I may just be rambling off notes. Yeah, the berries and cream are definitely together. The pecan, I think, is standing to the side, wishing it was involved in the bowl, but it is not. But she's there. It is not overly complex, but it does have a couple layers to it, to where I'm really here for this. This is really smooth. It does have the sweetness that Glass A has, with the cinnamon tamed down and a more approachable nose. I like that. I like that. I guess I did guess proof on the first one. That one, I'm gonna go 110. I feel like the oiliness it's ramped up a bit. But with the lack of hug, that would surprise me if it was more, put it that way. Now, before we just keep guessing randomly, let's find out some things. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna revisit real quick A, B, see if anything else happens. And then we're gonna come back, we're gonna score, give some final thoughts. We do a bang for the buck here on bourbonbarkeep, which I will talk about after a really fancy kind of PowerPoint-y transition happens. And then we'll wrap up. We'll just do that. All right, cool. Welcome back. It's gonna be tight. It's gonna be tight. I can tell you right now, it's probably gonna come down to price. We shall see. So, quick catch up. So at bourbonbarkeep, we do kind of two sets of scoring. We do a senses score. What's it taste like? What's the experience? Did it bring you someplace out of body? For better or worse, I guess, to be fair. And then we do a bang for the buck. So bang for the buck, I'll find out the price, and then we'll say, did I get my money's worth? Would I pay more? Would I pay less? So we got some categories. They get flashed up sometime around this time, and we'll go into Glass A. Glass A, a lot of grape bubblegum, like a grape bubblicious bomb. And if you don't like grape, you're gonna kind of struggle. If you don't like cinnamon, you're gonna kind of struggle. If you don't like ethanol, burning your nose hairs, this one may not be for you. However, I do like cinnamon. I did get a little bit more than just the grape bubblegum, as we've mentioned before. It's a fine pour, it's a good pour. We'll go just a cool 70. It's just definitely not firmly in the good stuff, but she's in the good stuff. I like it. Yeah, I feel good about it. I am questioning in my head, as you can see, but we're here. I like it. 70. Glass B. Enjoyed it. Took me back to my stomping grounds of Dunedin, Florida. Shout out to that barely one person that is from there. Whistle Stop. They got like an ice cream thing with honey, a little cinnamon sugar, a little waffle cone called the Bee's Knees. Delightful. I understand it's a cocktail name. This one is not. But it had like a lot of berries on the tongue, a lot of peaches, this vanilla cream, which I think was in the last one as well. Yeah. And just slight cinnamon, just kind of that nice little tingle. But I don't think it's rye spice. I think it was something else. Like I do think it was like a cinnamon and just a slight kind of leather in there. I liked it. Like it just had enough complexity to where I'm like, that's gonna be my my choice out of these A or Bs at this point. Census score. It's in the good stuff because it beat the other one. I'm gonna go 75. This one, they were kind of close in taste, but this one just had the viscosity was there. It had that maple syrup, this oily that hung around and not in an aggressive way. Really enjoyed it. Now we go into bang for the buck. Where I reveal this is a laptop on my lap, where it belongs, on top of your lap. Appropriately named. And so I'll find out the prices. We'll do some bang for the buck. We'll do some algorithm. As previously mentioned, the randomizer gave us battle 35. So I have samples 64 and 39 next to me. Glass A, we have $50. That's pretty good in today's market. I hope this price isn't outdated, but for $50, it's pretty good pour. That's tough to find at this point. I feel like I got my money's worth. I could definitely feel myself not having it every day in terms of, I feel like the sweetness would kind of get to me. So I'll go 65. I feel like that's kind of my happy medium of I got my money's worth. Would I pay more than 50? Probably. I mean, if you're already talking about being a good deal in today's whiskey market, I feel like you'd probably pay more. How much more? 55, 60, something like that. Yeah, feel good about that number. Not too much higher. Now for glass B, we have $55. $5 more than glass A. I definitely enjoyed it. $5 more. I'd probably still stick at that 60, I guess maybe 65 if you were, I mean, was I blown away? No, I'm not chasing it, but really enjoyed it. So I would say bang for the buck. Yeah, I got my money's worth and I would pick it. I'll go 68. So I mean, just a narrow margin. So we know glass B, almost said A. Glass B won 72.2 to 68. It's narrow. It's a narrow margin here. Now, to reveal the bottles to myself. Battle 35. A, B, Weller 107, Mother. And the Rebel cask strength. That's 120 proof? No. Is that true? Hang on. All right, took some digging. That's not a bottle that anybody requests when they come over. And that's also not a bottle to where I'm like, you know what I could go for? Rebel. But 120 proof. I don't remember the number that came out of my mouth. 120, I mean, in your mind, that's hot. That does not taste or experience. You don't experience it at 120? Yeah, that makes sense to me. Weller 107. Is it close in flavor? A little bit. That's probably the closest substitute we've done so far. But, I mean, are you gonna find like for like? No. That Rebel cask strength though, that is close, and it's smooth and it's sweet. So, not gonna say substitute, but I enjoy it more, and I really like the 107. I would say, I mean, 107 I think is probably my second favorite Weller. I would like to think that's a high bar to some people, but here we are. Wow. Weller 107 gets taken down. I think that's the first time in the lounge. She's appeared a couple times. Rebel, oh God. Rebel's appeared twice. What are we doing? Whew. Is Rebel clickable on YouTube? I don't know. Hopefully Weller carries her, because we don't have the subs to just hit the masses for do whatever we want to do. That being said, like, subscribe. Hopefully this was educational, and maybe don't shy away from the Rebel cask strength, because it was kind of good. Better than I expected and or remembered. And now we're both the wiser. Cheers.